Hi, I'm Scott Humphrey, CEO of the World Floor Covering Association, and this is Leadership Live. The word for today is investment, a mechanism used to generate future income. That's one definition you might read when you look the word up. But investment is not always money related. Sometimes we have to evaluate the cost of not doing something. I look at the situation around us today where we have people that are choosing not to come to work, and we've got a lot of unemployment issues where restaurants are having to close early. It made me think about, why do people stay where they stay? Why do people come to work when maybe it's as profitable to sit at home? And here are some of the things that I came up with. You might be surprised to find out that the number one reason that people leave their place of employment, hopefully enjoyment as well, is the person that they work for, the manager or the leader that they work for. It could be a lack of connection. It certainly could be a lack of trust, but they choose to leave because they don't feel appreciated where they are. Secondly, a lack of recognition, a lack of a clear vision for where the organization is going. Surprisingly, money is well down the list. In other words, money is not the reason that people leave you. Had a great conversation this week with Don Roberts, a good friend of mine, somebody I highly respect in the field of business, who not only thinks outside the box, but often does things to live outside the box. And he has great retention of his employees. And I asked him if it had always been that way. He talked to me about an early employment experience. We've both been in the flooring industry for years. And he told me about a gentleman he worked for that chose not to train his people. Now, training is an investment, and when you invest in someone, you said to them, you matter more to me than your paycheck. But this gentleman, Don's former boss, said, I'm not going to train them, because if I train them, they'll just get better and they'll leave me. Now, that is one way to lead. That's leadership out of fear of losing what you have. And so you simply retain them. You might even pay them more, but you don't invest in them. You don't make the investment that makes them feel like you appreciate them and that you want them to stay. Don said at one point, he looked at this gentleman and he made a phenomenal statement. It's really the reason I wanted to do this Leadership Live today. Don said, well, do we fear losing them because they've been trained? Or instead, should we fear keeping them because they haven't been? What's the cost of keeping people working for you that are inadequately doing the job? Investment means making your people better so that they can be better to your customer base, so that they can create word of mouth, positive word of mouth, where people are talking about your entity, whatever it may be. So I want to challenge you this week as you go out to really focus on making your people better. Set the example, invest in yourself, train yourself, but certainly invest in training your people, because remember, sometimes it costs more to keep people that aren't trained than it does to fear letting people go because they have been trained. Do your best. Create the example. Invest in your people. Train them. And then go out there and lead.